So, today we're going to talk about transitioning from a corporate job to entrepreneurship. My name is Danielle Marie. I'm the founder of Value. So, I worked in corporations for a long time, many years. The first half of my career was in institutions, and then the second half of my career was in companies that work directly with those higher education institutions. So, I've worked in very large companies, $1 billion size. And that was what really only thing that I knew. And then, long story short, I ended up transitioning into entrepreneurship for a number of reasons. And when I transitioned, I expected it to be really not that bad or not that hard. Like I felt like I knew a lot about business. I had run divisions of companies. I was sort of at a point where I felt pretty good about what was coming. And I knew a lot about business. I have an MBA, a DBA. Yeah, I just felt like I know how to do this stuff and it's going to be easy. And that was completely wrong. It has not been easy. It was not easy. The life of entrepreneurship is completely different. It's a 180 from working in a corporation. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why I think that is. The first thing is when you're in a corporation, you have a lot of support around you. You're not alone. So not only is this healthy for your psyche, your mental health, you've got people, you're a part of a team, you have shared goals, everybody's working together, you have specialists in different areas that step in when they need to manage something or give an opinion. Yeah, it's kind of like everybody's coming together, and that's fun. That's fun to be a part of a team and have shared goals. The second thing is in corporations, there's money there. There's money to back up and support the things that you're doing. I've done a lot of entrepreneurship, and that is very different when you have all these resources. And even if they give you little bitty budgets in corporations, it is it's still a big difference. You just feel like you have ample amount there to be able to do what you need to do. There's a lot of structure in a corporation. There's a lot of history in a corporation. They've already done a lot of probably tested many things. And again, they have the money to test many things, the resources to test many things. It's a lot easier. And also, if you're working in a company that's successful, they know what they're doing. They have figured out their brand, their niche. You're just jumping in and making it happen. Entrepreneurship is something very different. Entrepreneurship is taking an idea, especially if it's an idea that has never been used before or done before. That is something quite different. You have to figure out if the market wants it, how much should you charge for it that the market's willing to pay or should pay. You are on an island kind of by yourself. You get up every day and you don't have deadlines or times you're supposed to meet somebody. It's just you and the alarm clock and what needs to get done that day. Even if you have a co-founder or someone with you, it's still only a couple of you or a few of you. It's not these big teams like you have in corporations. There's something really beautiful about that. It's open to just all kinds of possibilities, but also what comes with that is a lot of challenge. The motivation, self-discipline, you got to have a lot of it. If you don't have self-discipline, entrepreneurship is not for you. If you're bootstrapping your business, it is especially hard, and it is going to cost you way more than you think it's going to cost you. Entrepreneurship, it always does. Starting new businesses. In fact, I think that's in general, business is that way, but especially when you're starting a new business, it will always cost you more than you think it will. I think part of that is also because you're reiterating an idea, you're trying new things. You typically are not going to start something and get it on the first try. My business, Alley, we pivoted twice before we figured it out over a number of years. So it does take some time to figure things out, and you always need more. So know that going in, if you're budgeting and trying to figure out, can I do this? Just know that it's going to cost more. I will say that as this journey has moved along, I've spent a lot more than I ever anticipated or thought I would. If somebody asked me 5 years ago what I have put in, what I've put in, I would say, no way would I have done it. But it has a way of growing on you, and you get closer and closer to what you're doing, and you buy into it more, and then you realize, hey, this is it. And then, for some people, that's me, that ends up happening. Other people, you get into it and realize, hey, this isn't for me. And that's okay too. There is important to know when to keep going and if you want to stop, if that's the right thing to do. But keeping going is the key in entrepreneurship. The things that I learned in business are great, and they have helped me in entrepreneurship. It's not that I haven't had any help from the experience or education that I've had. I have an MBA and a DBA too, so I've done a lot of graduate education in business, 8 years, but still actually getting in the thick of it and doing it is totally different. I will also recommend that if you're making this transition, you need to get a community around you. Get involved with your local entrepreneurship groups. Go out there and find resources. Alley Oop can help. We're one of them that can really get behind you and give you the things that you need and take the difficult things off your plate where we can, so that it gives you space to grow and chase your dream because that's what it's all about.